Hello everyone, I'm Brian. Today I'm reacting to What is God, Sadhguru. I forgot about this one, so I'm going to throw this as an extra one for Sadhguru videos. Anyways, let's go ahead and get started.
The soul is sacred for people. The body is filthy. How is it possible? Yes? That's what we've been doing, isn't it so? Saying God is sacred, creation is filthy. How is it possible? The very thought of God occurred to you only because you saw creation, isn't it? When you were born and you opened your eyes, you looked around, so much creation.
Oh, I forgot, I meant to answer that question. What is God? Something that humans created. I know that's going to be quite unpopular in certain segments, but I do believe that to be true. Now, what created all of us? I don't know. I honestly don't know. The Big Bang. But what created Big Bang? I don't know. You can go indefinitely backwards, infinitely backwards in terms of what created everything. You can even go back as far as back to what created God. You know, if someone says, "Oh, I believe in God," it's like, well, God created us. Okay, who created God? Then at the same time, you know, you can also say, okay, who created us? You could say, well, we're part of the universe. Okay, what created the universe? Like, I don't know. And this is something that I remember when Neil deGrasse Tyson was asking what created the universe. And he gave us, I was interested. I was like, oh man, maybe he can answer that. You know, he's the astrophysics guy. And then he's like, well, that's not important. It's like, what? That's kind of like a cop-out answer, you know, if I'm using that term right. But I think I get what he's trying to say. It's the fact that we don't know. What's the point on kind of exploring that if, you know, we don't know? I think it's fine to explore it, but understand that it's probably going to be nearly impossible to, you know, answer, because nothing was here at the beginning, or before time, let's say that. Before the Big Bang. So I don't know. It'd be nice to know. There could be a God out there, sure, maybe, I don't know. But until there's enough proof to my satisfaction, you know, I'm not just gonna believe. So that's my answer to that, I guess. But it is true though, throughout the entirety of human history, there's been many gods and goddesses that's been created. So what is God? Well, it's just another creation of human beings. You know, you have Zeus as a god. You have Anubis. I don't know, Ra. Is that the main one? I don't remember. You had Jupiter. You have who else? Buddha and some Buddhism as a god. You have Allah. You have maybe even perhaps some in Eastern, let me say, Indian religion. Maybe the many gods there, on top of it being Brahman as perhaps a god as well. I'm not sure, but anyways, you get my point.
Before you came here, so much has happened. Obviously, you did not create it. So you thought there must be a creator. This is how you come to the creator, isn't it? The moment you thought there must be a creator, because you're in a human form, you thought it must be a big man. A small man like me cannot do all this. It must be a big man. Just 2 hands, how can it do so much creation? Must be 8 hands. Isn't it? Isn't it so? If you were a buffalo, you would be really thinking, God is a huge buffalo. Isn't it so? Yes or no? You go and ask a buffalo and see. A buffalo will insist, God is a huge buffalo. Maybe 4 horns. You know Idi Amin? You heard of Idi Amin? The Uganda man? Idi Amin declared, God is black. I agree with him. If a white man can have a white God, why can't a black man have a black God? But both those people are confused. We know God is brown. Because he visited us, Some time ago, I was talking to a group of people in Nashville in Tennessee, and I was telling them a joke. In the joke, I just referred to God as Him. Immediately a few ladies stood up. Do you believe God is a man? I knew where it's going. I said, see, see, I'm only telling you a joke. It doesn't matter. You said Him. Do you believe God is a man? They take the jokes very seriously. Now women are arguing, God could be a woman. Such problems exist only in those cultures. In India, we have man God, we have woman God, we have cow God, we have monkey God, we have everything. Every kind, crawling one, creeping one, flying one. Because we foresaw all the problems of the future. See, when man was the most powerful force on the planet, man was naturally God. Now women are also gaining in their power, so women are questioning, why can't it be a woman? So tomorrow suppose dogs gain lot of power which they're gaining, so dogs will ask, why not a dog god? Actually the spelling also is close, He seemed to be closer than you, isn't it? So your idea of God is just an exaggerated version of yourself, isn't it? Your idea of God is just an exaggerated version of yourself. See, you are still not able to define yourself, isn't it? Whatever definition you put on yourself is not correct. Any kind of definition you put on you, it is not enough to describe this one. When this small piece of creation is like this, the source of creation, how are you going to put a definition on it? You cannot define it, you cannot understand it, you can only dissolve into it. You can experience it, you can never know it, you can't make knowledge out of it. Whatever knowledge you have about God is just pure nonsense, cultural nonsense. Depending upon which kind of culture you are in, that kind of God you have, isn't it? It can only be experienced. Experience does not mean you can eat it or you can grasp it. No, you can experience only by dissolving in it. There is no other way. So, we are just looking for methods of dissolution so that we can experience something far bigger than ourselves.
I do wonder… I wish you kind of went through with that to see what the result is. I don't know if he… sometimes when he tells jokes, he says, one time in, Tennessee or in America or whatever, I don't know if he's telling the truth in terms of that, but I know he understands how people are in these countries, and especially in America, that, him telling that joke, whether it's true or not, the reaction can be true because there are people out there like that. I'm kind of curious as to how did he resolve that, or how did he continue that joke? But yes, very much so. God is, well, there are many different ones created throughout the entirety of history, and this reminds me of astrophysics black guy. Why can't I ever remember his freaking name? I know it, but anyways, him and Bill Nye the Science Guy, I can't remember his name either, but Bill Nye, Bill Nye, never mind, there it is. Neil deGrasse Tyson and Bill Nye, we're talking about, well, is it them two? Anyways, they're talking about, well, there's a long list of gods that have come and gone, and the gods that we currently have are going to be roughly about the same, about the same thing. Obviously, if so long as the culture and civilization will last, it's going to stay strong. I mean, I don't know. I wonder what is the oldest particular religion is. Now, when you say Hinduism, I don't know if that's a particular religion. I think it's more than a religion, though. It's a way of life, but more like a specific religion. For example, like Abrahamic religion is not just one religion; it's a few of them combined. So I'm just kind of curious, like, what's the longest one that's been around forever? Was it the Roman religion? You know, the different gods. Was that what are they? Roman is that the planets, or is that the zodiac signs? I can't remember. Anyways, are they maybe Egyptian gods were longer? I don't know. But I don't know. Let's see how long the religions of today's last. And you know, a way of life, if it's really good, will probably, hopefully, will never die out. But it's just the problem is that you know, it's ways of life aren't exactly enforced because there's nothing to enforce. It's just there to make your life better, and and it's not saying that you have to do this, you have to do that, or whatever. You know, it's kind of, hopefully it never goes away. Whereas religion is very enforceful to some degree. Now, luckily enough, in most modern areas that have religion, they're not too forceful. But you hear all the atrocities going on, and you know, in third world countries or undeveloped nations, like the really bad stuff going on over there with religion and forcing it. But anyways, that's my reaction to What is God? Sadhguru. If you like my content, please consider subscribing, thumbs up, the sound down below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next vid.